everyone, welcome to the stream. Welcome to round 6. Welcome to Rush, doing that. Hello. We're at Tokyo South Inner Loop right now for qualifying. 10 minutes of qualifying here for an hour-long race. Time to get started. Looks like the stuck check went well. Nobody stuck on that second one. And for some reason we have a restart. So I guess qualifying is not underway right now. Alright, needs to be a rolling start. Got it. Looks like we just had the wrong settings on the race start here. How are we all doing though? Like, is everyone good? You know, one thing I hope, while we're on the subject of, we weren't on the subject actually, we're starting the subject of Gran Turismo original tracks. We've gotten a lot of amazing new original tracks with Gran Turismo Sport, and I hope they get to continue and meet up with the old classic tracks that we know and love in Gran Turismo 7. But one thing I really want Polyphony Digital to start doing is giving us corner names. You know, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have corner names for these iconic tracks. No, they don't exist in real life, but I mean, some of them have been with us for years, since we were kids. Tracks like Midway and Midfield, sorry. Oh my god, what's my favorite track? Grand Valley. I need corner names for these tracks. So, Polyphony Digital, if you are watching our lowly stream, please give this to us. Give us corner names. Thank you. Alright, y'all. Qualifier starting for real this time. Like, for real. For real. Interesting camera situation when you leave there. We're on board with AMS Rush. Let's get on board with someone else. I think we were on board with Rush last time too. And actually, before we get on board with anyone, let's just take a look and see who we've got. We got Bad Guy Cali, that ERS livery, Corvette. The Corvette's doing pretty okay typically in these races. Then Biditis in the red M6. Of course, AMS Rush, and that blue and black AMS liveried Corvette. Gooey in the Lexus. I think Gooey is with One Racing, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot see their livery right now, and my brain is not giving me, it's not reminding me. Actually, it's a Knudsen livery, so I don't know that Gooey's with the team. Chompy coming through in the Aston Martin, just on Gooey's bumper there. You're going to want to give yourself some space pretty soon here. Then Thanatos, the Mexican flag livery Corvette. Love this car, can't say it enough. And the Fiat as well that goes with it. But today we have El Aliens in an Acura for GTMX. Diano in the Genesis, of course. Diano, one to watch. I think we'll go on board with Diano in fact for the fast lap. We'll see. Zlatazinho Also, in a Corvette, Zazzelino had a really bad race last week. I think coming in last or second to last. I think Bittits is about to fallen all the way to last, if I recall correctly. So hopefully a bit more practice on the track this week, and we'll get a little better look from that team's vet. Kai Suisse in the MP, I don't remember what model McLaren this is. They all look the same. So, in the McLaren, missed you last week, but and finally, not finally, sorry, but Diogo Typer in the Porsche. Diogo always one to watch out for, usually up there somewhere in or near the podium. And Sokane is still not on track. Sokane in the M6, I wonder if Sokane maybe did get stuck and I just missed it. Typically, you can't start quali if you get stuck. Let's see who's about to start a lap here. Diano's about to start a lap, coming through the final S's. The S's in the final sector, rather, of this qualifier. People already starting to set times up above, but we're gonna go on board with the Genesis. Coming through second to last corner, and then full speed through this little kink right here. I call the last corner, and then start finish. We start a new lap now. So hard on the brakes here, around 50 meters, or after, depending on you. Down to just fourth gear. It's a very fast sweeper. This does help there. And that Genesis down this straight line where your car will shine if you've got legs and that thing. I don't think the Genesis is known for straight line speed. It is a handling car, which helps right here. Hard on the brakes for a really, really fun, like, triple apex situation here. It's great. The little warehouse, the docks rather, of fictional Tokyo here. A little tap on the wall on the right hand side there. Easy to understeer there. And be careful here. This is a really fun corner. I really like this sweeper. This highway on-ramp, I guess. Again, you got to be careful getting on the throttle too soon there. You will hit the wall on the outside. That's fine. And here we are through some full throttle sweepers. Now, these are not a joke. They look really mellow, but you pick up so much speed here that if you don't go through them with the correct line, you can't go full throttle. Dino following that line perfectly there, staying close to the walls, hitting every apex, and then you get hard on the brakes here for a hairpin. This is also the pit lane entrance. You see off to the left there, it goes into that parking garage right there. This track has a strange pit lane. Tokyo South and outer loops, the pit lane is halfway through the lap. Now up the hill again, if you've got a V8 or V12 or something with long legs, this is where you shine. But then you come into here with these sweepers, these S's in the final sector here, and again, going through with the right line, you shouldn't need to brake. Downforce is your friend again. Final corner, patient in this corner, then you get on that gas. Full speed through the kink, stay next to the wall, and then you track out to cross the line for a 156, 177 if you're Niano. That's good enough for fourth place right now. We have half the time left in qualifying, so plenty of time to figure out if we can go faster. Aliens in the Acura sitting in 7th place right now with a 155.6. 2.3 seconds off in their last lap, so they must have had an issue there. Let's see if they go faster here in the 4th lap. Again, still plenty of time to go quicker. Who's up top? Bad guy up top with a 154.6. They just set that fastest lap, just this last one. And they're almost halfway through the lap right now, headed into that hairpin and pit lane, so they should be crossing the line pretty soon. We'll see if they go quicker there. Rush, of course, is not too far behind, less than 2/10 behind the time with a 55.3 AMS. Now going through the docks here, that triple right-hander, so fun. This track as a whole is so much fun. I feel like there's not enough racing on this track, but when you get here, it makes for amazing close racing, which I hope we get to see some of that today. It is a pretty long track, a very fast track, and this is a long race, so we will of course see some separation in the cars, but my hope is that we get more close battling. When this is race B or C, in the daily races. Do not miss the opportunity to get in there. Now, they can be SR nightmares. As you can see, it's a city track, and all city tracks have one thing in common, and that's walls. Walls very, very close to you, and people will squeeze you. But if you know how to race here, if you know how to give, you know, sometimes you got to give that position to let them mess themselves up. If you know how to give, you can have amazing, amazing racing here. Good race to spam if you're into spamming daily races. Lobby races here can be pretty good too if you're in a high quality lobby, but results may vary depending on where you find yourself and what kind of drivers you find yourself with. But especially if you're in one of the higher SR lobbies, miss at Tokyo South Inner Loop. Rush just set a qualifying time, and the fastest qualifying time of 54.5. So that bad guy Cali down. Who's in the top right now? We got Rush, bad guy Cali, Gooey sitting in third in the Lexus. Gooey's always pretty much up there. Diogo, of course, never far. Never count Diogo out either in qualifying. We still have 2 minutes left. Time to get another lap in. Diano in the pits, I think. Oh, Diano back out. So I don't know if that was a bathroom break or what. Diano back out now. Why did my camera angle change? Chompy in 6th place. Aston Martin, this is a great track for the Aston. It does understeer. So some of those sweepers may not be too friendly to the Aston, but that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with slowing down, because once you get on the straights, this will shine, and this track does not lack for straight lines. So hopefully we'll see a good Chompy here in this race. Certainly got the car for it. Biddits is 8. What's that good for? Wow, this is like pretty close here. 55.8 is only good for 10th place. Zinio with a 55.3, but then L Aliens goes even quicker, 55.2 to get ahead of Zinio. L Aliens up to 4th place here. Top 5. Let me see, can we get another one of the GTMX cars up there? Come on, those, the Corvette. Also, excellent car here. Get up there now. These cars, the Vets, maybe the Lexus. I'm not sure how deeply you have to rev the Lexus to get power out of it. But I know the Corvettes, the Aston Martin, those are great cars to save fuel in a race like this with great straight line speed. If you are in an endurance race here in one of these cars, really any of the Tokyo tracks, if you are in an endurance race at any of the Tokyo tracks in one of these cars, all you got to do is get in someone's slipstream and short shift that baby, and you are going to get free positions in the pits. Instead of having to fight for them, you get them for free. You just get out of pit lane quicker because you have less gas to put in. It's beautiful. I love it. Man, I wish I was in this race. Damn, I should have gotten this race. I should have been somebody else stream. Rush still holding on to 1st place there with that 1/10 advantage for bad guy Cali. It looks like we got a little extra time on the clock. We're gonna see who has to end and who isn't. Diano just went a little faster, went up to 6th place. Thanatos so set a faster time, still not good enough to get up a position though, still in 11th place, and that's that for Thanatos. Zinio goes faster with a 199, gets up to 4th place. Told you, I knew there was something. I said Zinio's gonna want to come back. We've got top 5 full of Corvettes. Rush in a Vet, bad guy in a Vet, Gooey not in a Vet. Gooey is in a Lexus. I don't know where Gooey is on camera though, somewhere in this pack. Zlatazinho in a Vet, and L Aliens in an Acura. So 3 Vets in the top. Diogo still finishing up a lap here. Let's see what Diogo can do with this Porsche. make no mistake, with this Porsche, you bang up against that rev limiter. Well, you don't actually bang. You don't want to miss your shift. Diogo does go faster. Gets up to 5th place right there. Beats L Aliens out for that top 5 slot. So now, instead of the Acura, we get the Porsche in the top 5. But that Porsche in a slipstream can also save fuel. Shifted about a quarter way through the shift indicator there. And you'd be surprised what the Porsche will return to you. So that's our order, y'all. Rush, Bad Guy, Gooey, Dino, Diogo Typer, El Aliens, Diano, Chompy, Akai Suisse, Biditas, Tos, and Sokane, who sat qualifying out in 12th place. The race should be getting going shortly. 30 seconds left on the clock. Vamos, Mexico. But hello. How are ya? How are ya? Revving. Let's go. I'm going to exit spectator mode and jump back in here. Oh, it won't let me jump back in for a second. Let me in. Uh-oh, somebody stuck. I believe it was Sokane. Yes, Sokane stuck. There, now we can change camera angles. You have to exit and come back in to avoid this camera glitch, but Sokane had to leave. Sokane stuck, but we are on the way here. Everyone has crossed the start finish line, and we're going down that first straight. It's always a nice sight. There we go. That's the camera angle I wanted, with all these cars coming down and hard on to brake into the docks. We should see some passes here. Dino keeping a nice tight inside line there. A little bit of touching between Chompy and El Aliens as well back there. El Aliens going from 6th place down to 8th, losing 2 positions in the race already. The top 5 stays the same. Dino up to 6th. Chompy up to 7th. El Aliens loses out down to 8th. And then 9th, 10th, and 11th remain the same with Biditas, Thanatos, Nakai Suisse. But up front, we've got 3 VAs getting at it. Rush going ahead and keeping an inside line there. Comes back outside to brake for the hairpin. Everyone nice and disciplined, keeping a nice tight line. These tires are still cold and it's nighttime, so you want to be a little bit careful right now for at least the next maybe next half a lap. At this point, you should be getting some heat into the tires, but they won't be optimal just yet. Of course, this is an endurance race with tire and fuel wear, so we'll check out the rules right now, actually, while nothing's happening, she said as she jinxed it. But tire wear at 3x, fuel consumption at 1x, and it's an hour race, so this does come into play in the pit window. Is it Diogo who leads this pack? Yes, Diogo leading the mid pack, maybe holding some of these cars back a little bit here. Zlatazinho looking to get that 4th place position back over the Porsche. Looking up top here, the two Corvettes side by side. Looks like Rush is gonna win out on that, but Bad Guy Cali is letting Rush know, hey, I'm not sitting back on this one. Diogo's leading this pack to try to get back up to those top three. The pack being Diogo, Zinho, Diano, and Chompy. Then you have a big old gap down to Aliens in the Acura, racing all alone for the moment. Benitez leads Thanatos. And Akai Suisse way back, 5 seconds back off of Thanatos. Something must have happened to the McLaren driver. So gonna have a lot to make up here, unfortunately. What are you doing, Bad Guy? Bad Guy, making a dive into the hairpin or just kind of showing the mirror? Just showing him there. Just getting in, showing the nose, I mean. Just getting in Rush's mirrors a little bit. Rush stays composed, keeps a quick line through, and keeps first place there. Maybe Bad Guy's behaving a little bit. These three should be able to race each other and use each other for slipstream. Rush may want to step back and let Bad Guy lead the pack a little bit for a moment. You recall at Interlagos, Rush, unfortunately, kind of lost out due to this. Rush was leading the race, and then, Rush was in second place, and then the first place driver, I don't remember who it was, got behind and just started using Rush to save some fuel. Rush never really recovered from that, so maybe Rush will take a lesson from that and try to be the one to save some fuel in this race. We'll see. Diego and Dino kind of make a little bit of a gap of their own. It's a half second back to Chompy from Dino's. Zinho down in 7th place. What happened there? Zinho was right up on Diogo's bumper just a lap ago. Unfortunately lost out. El Aliens out in no man's land with no slipstream. Thanatos, meanwhile, leading Benitez. 2 V8s, one naturally aspirated, one with 2 giant snails slapped on. Well, I wouldn't call them giant, but twin turbo V8 in the BMW. Gorgeous, gorgeous car, gorgeous race car when it came out. I remember. I still love these M6s. Akai Suisse, that gap down to Benitez is a little bit smaller now. It's 5 seconds. Last lap, it's now down to 4, and we get back to our leaders in the same spot that we grabbed them the first time, through that hairpin. Beautiful watching all these cars of different colors race here at night. Headlights bright colors. One of those tracks that I wish existed in real life. What's up, Hussein? How are you? Bad Guy getting up beside Rush here. Not sure if that was just a matter of not having room or what, but we're starting to see a little bit of to-do. Yes, a to-do between these top 3 here in this perfect, excellent slipstream zone. Gooey just looking like, just trying to see if there's a hole somewhere that they can get into. Gooey and Bad Guy go inside. Rush goes outside, but it looks like it might have been on purpose there, because I don't know, it just felt like it was on purpose. You watch, it's not like he missed braking, and he tucks in just perfectly behind the 3, probably opting in now. Okay, I've led you guys for 4 laps, it's time that I save some fuel behind you. That's what it looked like to me. Our second pack also getting into something. What is going on? What happened to what? Gooey, why? What'd I miss? Oh no, I hit the wrong button. Let's see if this replay will work correctly. I accidentally hit 2 buttons. We're with Gooey here. I think Gooey might have had to slow down. I think we missed the actual issue there because Gooey ghosted, which indicates that they slowed down. I didn't see any sort of penalty there, but yeah, Gooey loses the top 3 pack and ends up in 5th place with the second pack. Diogo now in third place, but nowhere near Rush and Bad Guy. So it looks like it's Rush and Bad Guy alone. Rush back up top there. So maybe whatever happened involved both Bad Guy and Gooey, because Rush now back in front of the other Corvette. Just a little bit of drama already, y'all. It's lap 5. You've got people who have taken massive losses in positions, which, you know, it happens. It happens. Hopefully they can make it up. Chompy is on the good end of this. Chompy now up to 6th place in the Aston Martin. Zinho in 7th is going to try to find some pace here to get up these higher up packs. I'm sure Zinho, of course, qualified in 4th place, so I don't doubt that they have the pace. Aliens still all alone. Thanatos with a much bigger gap to Benitez now. Benitez was once right up against that bumper of the Corvette, but now that gap's 1.2 seconds, so Benitez out of the slipstream. Akai Suisse, the gap once 5 seconds, went down to 4 seconds, now it's 6.5, starting to get up to 7 seconds. So Suisse is gonna have to try to figure something out here. What did I just see? Not drama. I thought I saw a little drama. It wasn't drama. But what is Bad Guy Cali doing back here in 4th place? Bad Guy! Do you think we'll be able to see it? I think it might have happened too long ago. No, it didn't happen too long ago. Here's Bad Guy in 2nd place getting passed up. Yeah, it happened too long ago. But unfortunately, Bad Guy loses out, but is able to tuck in behind Dino for 3rd. Not too far off from some people with some serious pace, so may be able to get up there and make something happen. Rush, unfortunately, gonna be all alone now. No chance to save fuel with someone, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Do they maybe slow down and let this pack kind of catch up and see if they can catch a ride, or if they're gonna step up and just keep the gap as wide as they possibly can? Diogo still steadily leading Diano, as we know from the, what was it, Blue Moon Bay? I think it was Blue Moon Bay infield round. We saw that Diano is more than content to play 3rd and 4th fiddle, not even fiddle, and just sit there and wait for the chance to get the win at the very last second, which is exactly what they did. I see Diano tucked up under Diogo's wing right there, just saving fuel, and I don't blame you. Let's go on board with Diano. Got a nice neat line behind here. Revving that little Genesis all the way up to try to catch back up to Diogo and get in that slipstream again. Now squarely, and they're gonna have to be a little bit careful here. Bump draft incoming for Diogo, just to help a current friend out. A friend for now, right? Another bump draft into the braking zone. Deanna gonna brake a little bit early, make sure they don't hit the Porsche driver. Diogo with a wide to tight line there. Maybe was carrying a little bit more speed than they expected from that last bump draft, but no worse for the wear. Diogo's gap to Rush 1.2 seconds. So, did I see Rush get really slow there? Yes, Rush is getting bigger. Rush is getting much bigger. That gap is now 0.9, and it's still shrinking. What happened, Rush? Show me on the racetrack where you were hurt. Doesn't look like anything really happened that I can see. Maybe just overslowed for a corner. And that gap is back up to 1.1 and probably will grow some more. So that could have just been a matter of the Porsche being a little bit better in those corners, and I overplayed it. Diano, another bump draft. Friend Diogo. Meanwhile, Bad Guy right there. You know, if I'm Bad Guy, I'm gonna these two and see if they can catch up to Rush, and if they can't, then I make my move. Give it a lap or two. If we don't get any closer to Rush, I start making moves to pick these two off. Chompy all alone in 6th place now. Zeno just behind, so not necessarily alone. Sorry, Zeno was right there, saw that. L Aliens far behind, and L Aliens is still alone, has been since lap 1. Thanatos behind. That gap to Vittits is even bigger now, 2.8 seconds. Thanatos really putting a spanking on the M6 back here. And Vittits is just trying to stay away from Akai Suisse. Akai Suisse, the gap now 4.3 seconds. These two might rubber band. It looks like maybe both of them are making mistakes. Every now and then Suisse will make a mistake, but then Vittits will make one right back and get Suisse a little bit closer again. Diogo, 1.1 seconds to rush, closer to 1.2. So that gap's still not getting much smaller. Bad Guy Cali does go up ahead of Dino for 3rd place, so I think Bad Guy's starting to decide to pick these two drivers off in an effort to try to get back up to rush, and I don't know that I blame them. Now that we know that gap is staying pretty steady at 1.2, I think Bad Guy's gonna have to try to make a move and get around and catch back up to the other driver. In fact, Bad Guy right here going into 2nd place in the slipstream, coming into the triple apex shipping corner docks, sorry, and Diano goes ahead and slips right behind. Nice move by Diano to get in there, take 3rd place away from Diogo, and now I'm expect to see these two start running away to try to catch up to Rush up front, and Diogo would do well to keep up. Gui, meanwhile, still in 5th place after falling to 5th a few laps ago. Maybe waiting for a good opportunity here to try and do something. L Aliens has caught up to Zeno and is now giving Zeno trouble. Zeno has a massive gap to Chompy, almost a second now, and yes, is being harassed by L Aliens. Let's watch this battle go down. Chompy, of course, in that Aston Martin has to brake a little bit earlier than these two cars, and I think we just saw them drop that gap to Chompy, but it's still 0.8, so Zeno's bigger concern will be L Aliens here. Yeah, Gui's doing pretty well. Unfortunately, lost 3rd place, ended up in 5th. Ooh, L Aliens didn't slow down enough. You saw that dirty air right there, just made him go super wide in that S. Now, isn't as close as they really could be to the Corvette for this very long, very straight section. In fact, not really catching up to the Corvette. Even in the slipstream, you see that gap to Zeno getting even bigger. Just a big mistake there by Aliens. Hopefully they can make it up in some of these tighter corners here. Zeno right back up to Chompy. Back to their slipstream. That was a fun little watch there. Bad Guy to Rush, 1.2 seconds. Followed by Dino and Diogo. Then Gui outside of the slipstream, over a second behind Diogo, so Gui's gonna want to try to figure out a way to get back up there, unless they want to get caught in no man's land here. Chompy leading these two. Doesn't look like they're fighting again, but L Aliens is right back up there to the Corvette. The gap less than 0.4. And in fact, they should be coming up on that hairpin again. So let's see if L Aliens is able to get close enough to try to make a move again. No, not really. In fact, Zeno is the one who is harassing Chompy now. L Aliens dives in. L Aliens makes the move stick, dives in later than both the Aston and... Oh, nope. I think we just saw the Aston still up ahead, but let's just watch this. Let's just... Oh, yeah. Tight on the brakes, hits the apex right, tracks outside, doesn't want to give Chompy too much room, but the V12 of the Aston Martin is, well, it's the V12 of the Aston Martin, and we're going up a hill here, so it looks like L Aliens has to tuck right back in behind Zinho and Chompy again, despite getting them both on the braking. We're gonna have to keep coming back to this battle because I'm sure the Alien's gonna keep trying. Keep trying, Aliens. You'll make it stick. Maybe get on that throttle a little bit sooner. Maybe give Chompy a little less room on the outside of that hairpin. You don't owe him the room. Make Chompy have to slow down and get behind you right there. A good effort, though. Good effort by Aliens. I hope to see it again. The gap to Rush. 1.4. So, bad guy picked off Diogo and Dino to get second place, but has them even further away from first place now. I don't know if that's because Rush has upped their pace or if these guys have slowed down. Let's see here. Rush's last few laps, a 55.9, a 56 flat, and a 55.8. Bad guy's last few laps, a 56 flat, a 55.7, and a 55.7. So this is weird because bad guy's laps are faster. So how is bad guy further away? 1.5 seconds. Aliens got Zinho and I missed it. Sorry guys, I was looking at numbers. But now Aliens up into 7th place, just behind Chompy. Zinho gonna have to be content right there behind him and try to catch back up. 7/10, they're almost out of the slipstream. Thanatos watching from behind, 1.9 second gap to group. So Thanatos not far away at all. Thanatos should be able to get up to these three if they continue to interact with one another. So we say even closer to Bittitiz now. 3.7 seconds gap. Rush, still gapping bad guy, 1.6 seconds. These three look like a well-oiled team trying to work together, trying to get up to that first place driver. For some reason it's not working, but I believe in them. I believe in them. Rush is a very fast racer. Gooey, 2.5 seconds to Diogo. Gooey completely out of the pack here. I wondered where they were. I couldn't see them in the camera, and that's because they're very far away. Aliens up ahead of Chompy. Ah, I should have stayed with this battle. What am I doing? I missed the pass. Think we might be able to see it? Maybe it just happened. Did just happen. Right. Wow, nice. Aliens goes around the outside in the docks to get this position on Chompy. Well done, Aliens. And let's see if Chompy can get back here. Aliens gonna stay on the outside, knowing that they can break later than Chompy, but Chompy stays with it. I think they braked at the same time. Can Chompy keep the corner? Aliens goes into the pits, actually. Aliens doesn't care. Into the pits. Aliens. Zinho. And that's it. Just those two. Just those two this lap. About halfway through the race here, we should start seeing others start to pit as well. Aliens comes out still ahead of Zinho, and so these two will race together for a while. Suisse 1.2 seconds from them, but Suisse of course on older rubber, and so probably not a threat to these two. Rush, 2 seconds is the gap to Dino now, who's got ahead of bad guy Cali, perhaps thinking I should be the one leading this pack. You're not doing it right, but bad guy Cali, those long legs of that Corvette, there's nothing I can do in a long straight like that. And so bad guy Cali back up top here, and Dino gets to the outside. He's gonna have to tuck in behind Diogo. In fact, Diogo inheriting third place there. Diano probably content just to stay out of trouble, which I agree with. Still a lot of racing to go. Diogo jumps into the pits, followed by Gui also into the pits. Both teammates on, looks like, the same strategy. And Diogo's already back out, fueled up, right in fourth place. Nice pit stop there. So we still have the top three still have yet to pit. Diogo being the highest driver who is already pitted, and so fourth place at the very least is definitely theirs. 10 seconds is the gap to Dino. We'll see what happens when Dino pits. Chompy just behind in fifth also owes a pit stop. Gui is fresh, doesn't need a pit, so Gui's going to inherit fifth when Chompy goes into the pits. Pardon me. Thanatos also needs to jump into the pits. Biditis definitely needs to pit. Those tires, those right-hand side tires are done. This track is very counterclockwise, so the right-handers go first. El Aliens and Zinho, of course, have also pitted, so they should jump up a few positions here. And Suisse is in the back, also owing a pit stop. Diano starting to be a little bit aggressive, getting ahead of Cali again there. I expect these two to probably jump into the pits together. Most likely this lap, I can't imagine why they would stay out longer, but we'll see. And that's back in and rush in. Diano does not go in. Diano opts to stay out. Maybe we'll hope for an overcut here. If they can get a very fast lap going, maybe they can get out ahead of Bad Guy with a good gap when they come out of the pits. Diogo up into third place now. Rush already out of the pits. Bad Guy as well. 1.7 from Diogo here for Bad Guy. So Bad Guy's got some work to do. Gui tucked right in there in fifth. Chompy in sixth. We're looking at Thanatos here, who is a bit closer to Chompy, but again, both of these have to pit, so it's going to be interesting to see who spends more time in the pit stop. They should just be changing tires and not doing any fuel or anything like that, so it's really a matter of who can get to the button faster. But we've seen worse mistakes be made, you know? Somebody jumps in the pits, forgets to change their tires, you have to do it again. It happens in a race like this. Even though you don't have to fuel, I didn't realize you wouldn't have to fuel, but even though there's no fueling involved, mistakes can still be made in the pits. Passes can still be made in them. Diano going through those S's just before the pit lane hairpin. Let's see if they jump in here, and if they jump in, let's see where they come out compared to Rush and Diogo, who are just behind. 6 seconds behind them. Diano in, punches that racing soft button. Rush just passed. Diogo, where's Diogo coming out? Diano comes out right behind Diogo. Doesn't make the pass that they were hoping to make. Bad Guy just behind. So Diano splits those two. And now we have a fight to the end of the race here between these three, most likely. Sorry, these four. Gui also up in the mix in fifth place. Gui probably looking to get back up on that podium somehow, some way. We still have people who haven't pitted. And I can't imagine why they're not pitting. There's no advantage to keeping these old tires here. They're paces are very slow. Both of these drivers and Thanatos are on 57s. A 58 for Chompy in 11th lap there. So I don't know why they're staying out on these older tires. But here we are. Meanwhile, everyone who has changed, dipping into the 56 and some all the way down to the 55s. Suisse just dropped the 55.8. That's their fastest lap of the race so far. Trying to end up not last. I feel it. Get in there. AMS Rush's gap 3.7 seconds. And now that I know there was no fuel concern in this race, I should have known they were just going to try to run away and get away as quickly as they could. Diogo's going to do well to try to hold on to second place here. Diano holding on to third. Bad Guy still there. Gooey still there. This pack is going to be one to watch for sure. Back behind them, we have another little pack forming here. I thought we did. I guess it was just the camera angle. These drivers are not as close as I thought they might be. So no, this is our only pack thus far. But we'll keep an eye on Thanatos and Aliens. Thanatos has to pit eventually. And we'll see where Thanatos ends up and if they end up in a battle. For now, we watch these four. Thanatos got a Chompy behind. Looks like these two have swapped places. Are they going to pit? Ever? Gooey, what are you doing? Ooh. Oh no, Gooey inside of Bad Guy, and it looks like a little bit of a hip check there as Bad Guy hit the wall. Just a mistake there, but that may end up getting reviewed by the stewards. Yep. Hip check right there. That puts Bad Guy on the wall. Gooey gets fourth place. Might end up giving that position back. Meanwhile, Thanatos and Chompy still at it. Still not pitting. Like Diano playing nice behind Diogo there. Bad Guy down there in fifth, I'm sure, probably seething, but hopefully able to get control of their feelings and get that Corvette back in there. Still 5 laps to go in this race, 5 long laps. They should be able to get back up to Gooey, and Gooey may do the right thing and just easily give them that position back there, but just letting them catch up first. Makes sense to me. Thanatos, Chompy, probably just not pitting all race long. That's probably the strat for them. So I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that that must be their strategy. So we've got a genuine battle between these two here. The Aston versus the Corvette. Zinho, by the way down in 9th place, nowhere near anyone. You recall Zinho qualified in 4th and just early on in the race ended up having issues, and it's just like they haven't ever recovered. Zinho down in 9th place, not really able to be effective here, just kind of racing alone. Nobody to catch, nobody to run away from, really. AMS Rush, that gap, massive, about 4 seconds now to Diogo. Diogo is going to have to watch out for Diano. Diano's been patient behind Diogo this entire race. I think Diano got up front maybe one time, and I get the feeling that they've just been biding their time. And Diogo's going to have to start worrying about them pretty soon here. Bad Guy's progress up to GUI, 1.3 seconds, that gap. Thanatos and Chompy are still at it, I see. Got Ale Aliens lurking there, 1.3 seconds away from these two, and Ale Aliens has much fresher tires, so they should be catching up and should be a part of this battle any minute now. I would imagine that they'll want to not hinder their teammate when they make their pass. But I'm guessing the ideal situation would be to put themselves between their teammate and the Chompy. Maybe slow that Aston down a little bit. Bring in a 6th and 7th place finish for GTMX. Early on in the 19th lap here. I should put my phone on silent mode. Sorry, y'all. It's probably been making noise this whole time we've been here. Dino, a little bit of sparks coming off as they touch the wall. Just a left tap. Shouldn't really slow them down at all here. GUI up ahead of Bad Guy Cali now. Well, already been ahead of Bad Guy Cali. Sorry, what I'm trying to say, Bad Guy Cali is caught up to GUI up ahead. So let's see if GUI lets Bad Guy have this position easily, or if GUI continues to fight. If you recall, a couple laps ago, they had a moment with a little hip check through right here, actually, in these S's. Bad Guy hits a wall, maybe trying to squeeze in there and try to get back at GUI or something. I don't know what that was, but Bad Guy hit a wall. Now they've got a 1.5 seconds to contend with, and that effectively puts them out of this race for a while here. Maybe just trying to tuck in earlier to avoid the slipstream messing them up, that dirty air, but tucked in a little bit too early, and now they're carrying this penalty that they've got to get rid of here. I believe the penalty rid zone, ooh, I just had it up before the race, but I think it's on the start-finish straight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to check that for y'all. Penalty serve zone is, where is this? It's before... I'm having trouble telling what part of the track this is. I guess we'll see it when Bad Guy does their thing. Okay, I see what it is. It's after It's after the, right here, after the docks. So once we get through these corners right here, you got that straight up the little hill. And then after this right-hander, there's a short straight, and that's where the penalty serve zone is. So bad guy's gonna have to get rid of 1.3 seconds right here, just after this curb. So somewhere in this moment, you see them slowing down, getting off the line to get rid of that penalty there. Unfortunately, not getting rid of it fast enough. That must have felt so slow having to get rid of that there. And now they're gonna have to try to fight to catch back up to GUI again. It's 2 seconds the gap. Meanwhile, up Diano still with Diogo, still not making a move. We're 20 laps into 23, and if I'm Diogo, I'm gonna start getting nervous here. Might need to start thinking about defending. In the saga of Chompy v Thanatos, Chompy's got the position up to 6th here. Thanatos about 8/10 back. Try to fight back, I'm sure. Zinho is right behind him, which is wrong because it should be L Aliens. What happened to L Aliens? I don't know. But something happened. And Zinho got up ahead, and now it's Zinho 1.1 seconds behind Thanatos instead of L Aliens getting in there to try to help their teammate out to maybe get a position here. Biditzes now has a mirror full of glare from Akae Suisse. Akae has fought and fought since lap 1 to overcome a gap that was up to 6 seconds at one point and is now in the slipstream of another racer. Suisse has got their eyes on not last place. And that gap is getting even smaller, so we're gonna probably stay with these two for a moment. We're gonna switch between these two and Diogo and Diano. But Suisse already going ahead and just making a move and easily makes the pass in the straight against the M6. Let's see if Biditzes fights back or if Biditzes is just happy staying where they are. The gap already up half a second. Diogo and Dino still friends. Both of these turbo V8 cars, they sound very, very different from one another. Both of them with a little bit of a vacuum cleaner sound though from the turbos. Love it. I love how Polyphony Digital has stepped up the sound in this game. It's still not as good as it is in some other racing games, but it's better than what we used to have. It's really nice to be able to hear some of the bigger differences between these cars. The Porsche, of course, being one of the best sounding cars in the game. One of the best sounding cars in that era of GT3 cars, actually. The old GT3 exhaust, I think they changed it for last year's racing. Brilliant sounding exhaust. I don't know if we can get a better sound from back here. Yes. It's a high-pitched wail versus the low grumble of the Corvette. Angry grumble. We'll have to catch back up with these cars when they're not on the straight. I want to hear these cars revving through. Bad guy is catching up to GUI. That gap was 2 seconds after taking the penalty. It's 1.1 now. We have one more lap after this. We have a lap and a half left, basically. They're at the halfway mark of this lap here. So may need to see if Bad Guy's gonna be able to catch up and make something happen. The gap already 1 second now. There goes that Corvette, that low pushrod V8 rumble. And again with Thanatos, who's up in 6th place versus Zinho and Chompy. Now how did this happen? What happened to you, Chompy? Something must have happened to Chompy, but that V12, very reminiscent of the flat 6 in the Porsche. That's the high-pitched wail from that car. V6 of the Acura, also just a great sounding. Race V6s sound great to me. And here we are, Suisse still hasn't been able to shake Benitez. This gap is still just less than half a second here. Ooh, Benitez a bit wide into that first turn. Loses several tenths and is still losing it. And that gap is now 8 tenths. We just watched that happen. Benitez go a little bit wide into the first turn. Just being in all that dirty air. Right there, you see, just goes wide. Unable to keep it tight, and that is good for a big loss coming into a long straight like they just went through. And so now Benitez out of the slipstream of Suisse instead of getting closer. Diogo and Diano, what do we got here? This is the last lap. Diano takes the dive into the hairpin. Are they going to be able to hold it? Leaves a little bit of space for Diogo. Diogo is not giving up just yet. I want to replay that pass, but I don't know what's going to happen between these two, so I'm not going to replay the pass. I'm going to stay right here with them as they go through the final S's. The pass was pretty straightforward there. Dino just a quick juke onto the inside and outbreaks Diogo. And this is Dino's right here. Nothing Diogo can do. That race is over. Gooey versus Bad Guy. Bad Guy never quite got there. It's half a second the gap now. Little over half a second. Gooey's going to go ahead and take 4th place in the provisional results here. Zinho up to 6th place after falling down to 9th. Well done for them. Unfortunately, not quite 4th place that they qualified in, but Thanatos behind them in 7th. Thanatos, one of those drivers who did not take a pit stop, up to 7th. Chompy behind them, going to finish up in 8th, and L Aliens in 9th. L Aliens also kind of a disappointing finish. I think they qualified in the top. They qualified 6th. Diogo took the 5th spot from them. Then Suisse and Benitez. And that's the end of round 6. That was a good race. It was a fun race. Rush with the pole position and the win. Good job. Another bunch of points for Rush and Team AMS. Let's congratulate our top 3 there. Rush, Dino, Diogo. Congratulations. Good race. Thank you all for watching. That was good stuff. Now I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with the rest of my day. See y'all.